This is Sky News with Jane Secker.
Good evening. Gibraltar's police is accusing Spanish fishermen of entering the territory's waters today during a protest over fishing grounds. Some 30 to 40 boats watched by the police and Royal Navy were corralled and pushed out, they said, after trying to breach a cordon. Tensions over the rock have developed in recent weeks, and Gibraltarians are expected to welcome the warship HMS Westminster when it docks there tomorrow. The area in question is an artificial reef created just off the coast in the Bay of Gibraltar. Local Spanish fishermen say it has stopped them from landing any catch there, and Spain has historically disputed the maritime boundary. Sky's senior correspondent David Bowden is in Gibraltar tonight. David.
Jane, the reef you talk about is somewhere behind me in the water you can see. This morning, about 24, maybe 30 small Spanish fishing vessels came here to protest. They say that it's stopping them fishing altogether, not just fishing on the bottom, which is what the Gibraltarians accuse them of. Anyway, it annoyed the locals who came out in force to protest at the protest. They can't fish here anymore, so the Spanish fishermen set off to protest instead. Cheered on by their compatriots as they left.
Gibraltar! Español! Gibraltar! Español!
A flotilla of small boats arrived just off the Gibraltar shore with a waterborne police escort from the Guardia Civil to make sure the little boats didn't get intimidated by the unwelcoming presence of Gibraltar's maritime police force. Spain and her fishermen are not very popular on the rock right now.
This is our land. They've got enough water, so why don't they go and fish somewhere else instead of our water and leave us in peace? We want to be British.
In England, this is, I don't ask my next door neighbour if I can put a rose in my garden, and this is the same issue. Very simple, but it's a bigger issue. This constant bullying, this constant manipulation is a daily thing.
But the fishermen are equally convinced their cause is just.
If my boat is stopped here, I lose a lot of money every day. Me and the fishermen who work with me. We all lose good money, between 300 and 500 euros a day.
The diplomatic spat between Spain and the UK and Gibraltar began a few weeks ago when the authorities here dropped 70 concrete blocks into the sea to protect marine life from overfishing. Spain responded by increasing border checks into and out of Gibraltar, leading to queues lasting hours.
What they do here is they rake fish, they drag fish, and they destroy the bottom completely. They take clams and they take shellfish, but what they do is they actually destroy the ecosystem for the rest of the marine life here in this area.
The EU is due to send observers to Gibraltar to assess who's right and who's wrong, but the animosity won't stop. Of course, this is about far more than a few tiny Spanish fishing vessels and an artificial reef that's been planted on the seabed below us. It's about the right of Gibraltar and its people to remain British, even though it's attached to Spain, which is over there. Further along the coast, a more convivial meeting between the Spanish and UK maritime forces as HMS Illustrious docked at the port of Rota. In the morning, another British warship will come alongside here on the Rock, a timely reminder for the locals that Britain hasn't forgotten them.
And David, as HMS Westminster arrives there tomorrow, what kind of reception do you think the ship will get?
She'll get a great reception, of course, from the people here in Gibraltar. They are very tied to their navy. There was a big base here until not that long ago. It's still a forward mounting base for operations for the British military if and when it's needed. So they will be out in force to say hello. And of course, as I said in my report there, Jane, it's a sign that Britain still cares. These people here are desperately British. They love Britain. They are part of Britain. They feel they're being bullied by their big brother. You can see just over the water behind me, and they want it to stop. They want David Cameron to do even more, to put more pressure on the EU to clamp down on what Spain is doing and get back to normal.
David, thanks very much. And that story is likely to feature prominently in tomorrow's papers. We'll be taking a first look at them at 10:30 tonight with Martin Bentham from the Evening Standard and the motivational speaker Tracy Edwards. And don't forget, so you don't miss a thing, you can now series link the press preview on your Sky Plus box.